Our guest today is Fred Williams, and we're here at the Sarasota Jazz Jam. And Fred, you're the man who keeps the Jazz Jams running smoothly all these years. How did you get involved with this organization?
Well, this was a concept years ago that was started by two fellows who were originators of the jazz, or founders of the Jazz Club. That was Hal Davis, who was president for many years, and Len Wyatt, who was on the board of directors for many years. And there was a need in Sarasota for a place for local musicians. People lived here locally. Local musicians is kind of negative. People think, oh, if he was any good, he'd be in New York. Well, most of them have been in New York for a long, long time and saved a lot of money, and now they live in Sarasota. Because, at any rate, this was a concept by these two fellows, and they came to me and asked me if I had ever done anything like this, and did I have any particular ideas, and I said yes. But basically what it is, if you've talked to an old comedian, you will find most of them discussing in their youth there was a neighborhood place where you could go and be bad as a comedian. And you've probably heard this expression. Well, a lot of places were the same thing for musicians, especially jazz musicians, who could go someplace and try their instruments and try their talent and see if they could survive in a professional atmosphere. And the local musicians in those days welcomed it. If there was a little combo in the saloon on the corner, where there was that's usually what it was, neighborhood places, something like that. So this is basically based on the same idea. It's a place for local musicians who have their horns with them, who still want to play, want to keep their hands in. My concept was, let's take local working musicians, guys who have little bands around in the places, and come down and play for the audience here, and all for free. And they would give them a chance to enlarge their listening crowd. If they came down and played for us for free, they would get a chance to perhaps attract 10% of the audience to come out to the restaurant, the club, wherever they were playing, and listen to them in person. And that was beneficial then to everybody, and that was the beginning of it. It's been about 12 years ago that we started this.
It's a unique format you have. The first hour is pretty much a local musicians, as you said, can come down. Anybody, as you make an announcement before the Jazz Jam, if you have an instrument, come on up and sit in with the band. The second hour, a guest hour, where you have more of a set piece, set guest who comes and does their maybe 20-minute, 30-minute set.
Normally, it's closer to an hour, and we have different musicians, different horns. I try to mix the horns up so they can remember, that it's not the same thing they heard last time. We don't run a lot of saxophone players in a row. I try to mix them up as far as possible. It's just a place where it's more structured. The middle hour is more structured than the rest of the time, because we've had as many as 17 or 18 horn players up here on the first hour and on the last hour especially, and that kind of gets it's basically a free-for-all, which is one of the words that jam sessions can sort of means free-for-all, not literally, so the English teachers out there don't write me.
Yeah, you do basically an ensemble number to start, and then each person gets a chance to stand up and do a solo number, and then you finish up with usually an ensemble number. And if you've never been down here, some of the talent locally is just amazing. Like you said, a lot of guys maybe worked in radio, even recording industry in New York, Chicago, L.A., and they've retired, and not necessarily retired working, and they come down here to this, so it's some great music.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what Sarasota is blessed with, as far as I'm concerned. Well, these people, and they are more than willing to give themselves, just for the Sarasota and the people who come and enjoy the music.
Talk a little bit about your background. I know you're from Indiana originally. Right. You started out there. What was your background?
Well, I worked with a group of my own, going clear back to my collegiate days, and I've worked with the good fortune to work with some very good people, and I've been asked as an accompanist. I got a lot of work in Indianapolis for some famous girl singers of the day, and those of you who are old enough would probably remember Connie Boswell, and my age is giving me away. Memory. I can see the faces, but I can't.
That's all right.
At any rate, very very good people, and it was good experience for me because I learned very quickly what not to do, and that's one of the important things. As a sideline player, you have to learn what to do, and that's very important. And
I know you play locally down here at other organizations. You do something at the United Methodist Church, I believe, on Sundays.
Yes, we've got a program going over there, that was inaugurated through some members of the church who also were members of the jazz club, are members of the jazz club. And they were trying to think of some venue, and there was a minister at the church at the time, not the senior pastor, but he was involved with the music end of it there. And he remembered something that happened in New York. There's a church in New York that has dedicated itself to giving very nice services for musicians who have died, and some of them in less than Class A circumstances. So they would have these big jazz affairs from, I'm not going to name any names because I don't know who died with millions in the bank and who didn't. Majority, I think, would be those who didn't. But at any rate, this is a well-known church, and for those of you who have been around jazz or been around New York, I'm sure you know the one I'm talking about. So that was the same context. Could we do it here? They had involved me in it. They asked my opinion. My opinion was yes, because of the fact that Sarasota does sort of get behind anything that's new and different and at least give it a try. And that's what we did. And this is in our 7th year down here. We do it on the first Sunday of the month during the winter season. So we give anywhere from 6 to 7 concerts. And it's a free will thing. There are no tickets. You just come down. And anyway, to close this out, we started with just one show from 5 to 6 o'clock. And 2 years ago, we had to go to 2 shows because of the overflow crowd. So I appreciate the chance to plug the First Methodist Church, because it's one of, we're several of us who are parents of the baby, but we all enjoy playing our role, and I do enjoy playing my role.
That's great. Sarasota being such a great cultural and arts center, I think a lot of people should know more about the jazz goings on in town. Once a year, the Jazz Club holds their festival in March at Van Wezel. The Jazz Jams here. There's a Friday program. Maybe just talk about that for a minute.
Well, our Friday program is run by Jim Lamboy, and his concept was the Friday program, and then he arranged for us to have our Jazz Jams rather than see them fall by the wayside. There basically isn't any difference between the two programs, except the Friday programs are held weekly, and the Jazz Jams are held bi-weekly. Yeah, if that means twice a week, I hope it does. I don't want to get into trouble with English teachers again or whatever. But anyway, yes, it's a wonderful concept. It's well attended. There aren't any tickets sold. It's one of those things that comes and it's kind of like at the church. It's a free will donation, whatever. And when I say there aren't any tickets sold, the tickets are very nominal price. I think they're $3. And so don't hold me to that, because that's Jim Lamboy's baby. And
reasonable price no matter what.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Well, Fred, we know you got to get ready for today's show, and we enjoyed talking to you. We hope to do a lot more with the Jazz Club in the coming months in our program.
Well, thank you, Doug. It's going to be a wonderful event, and your part of it is going to be a great part of our success and continued success down here. So I personally appreciate it very much. And it's nice of you guys to come down here and take your time and do this.
Our pleasure, and we'll do a lot more in the future.
Okay.